Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to a brand new little kind of sideshow I'm putting together. We're going to call it In the Green Room with ChicagoTonyV. I've always been looking for this way I've made so many friends through the show. My fans are actually dear friends. I reach out with my pepperonis all day, every day. It's lovely. And I wanted to find this way to just have kind of one-on-one conversations with my friends, with other podcasters, with whoever, just kind of a one-on-one. And this is the very first show. And VIP Pepperoni, Yak Horseman, was kind enough to kind of be my first guinea pig. So I'm going to show you this show first. Yak is the very first guest on Inside the Green Room with ChicagoTonyV. I hope you enjoy it. Well, here we are in the very first In the Green Room with ChicagoTonyV. I'm super excited. And of course, as I was thinking of who would be a fitting very first guest in this new uh, type of segment that we're doing, the infamous Pepperoni, Mr. Yak Horseman, of course, came to mind. Yak, thank you for agreeing to be on the show today.
Thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yak, you've been an integral part of the show so far. We just did 55. This morning was the 55th episode. And I mean, you've been in there, you've been in the stream, you've called in. So so absolutely, you're a very fitting guest, I think, for the first episode here. So Yak, do you remember like how early on in the show you kind of found it and started interacting and everything?
I think the first show I saw was the night with Chicago Tony V. Because I was just scrolling through RPAN and I found this and I thought it was a really funny to be the only thing I said in the stream was, "Hey Tony, where you from?" Because Chicago Tony's in your name, and I thought that was really funny. So I followed you, and then the next time I was up at 6 and I saw you go live was the time I called in for the first time, and we talked about my many infamous Twitter accounts, and that's really where it all started.
Absolutely. Now, Yak, I get the idea that you're probably not a morning person. Let's face it, you're in college, you're a young buck, and I'm always amazed that I know of some people who have literally changed their schedules just so they could catch the show. And God love you, most mornings you're in there. Has it been tough for you to kind of make that time slot, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard?
Um, a little bit, a little bit. I usually don't get to bed until, like I said, I didn't say, but 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. Central Time for me. So I usually go to bed about 12 or 11 because I can't fall asleep until that late, and then I usually wake up at like 5 or 6, like without an alarm. Usually, um, but it's been like weird, like because like I usually wake up at 5 and 6 and either like just lay there or like go back to bed. But it's been an interesting test to see how far I can push my limits for waking up and actually doing something.
Yeah, yeah. I always wonder about you guys in the stream, of course, because you have that's the one thing that, because the show is a bucking bronco and I'm having to talk in the camera and keep things moving, it's like so much goes by. But it's what I love, Yak, is especially lately, all you guys are friends. Everybody knows everybody. You're saying good morning to everybody. What's it been like from your side of the show?
It's been just a great experience. I love being on Twitter and seeing, Haley from Podcast 27. Um, I've started listening to more of the podcast. I started listening to Gamers Watch. I intend to listen to 2010 Minutes because all these people are it's a great community to be in. It just is really nice to be able to interact with other people, except for like people like the one guy that was in this morning that was being a dick. But it's such a great community to be in.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, every once in a while we get a spicy pepperoni that needs to be flicked off the pizza, if you know what I mean.
Know
It's
exactly
not
what you.
it's not all puppy dogs and ice cream, unfortunately. Um, I do think, and I've talked about it on the show, Yak, it's like the thing that I never saw coming is all the friends I would make. First of all, I didn't expect anyone to ever watch or listen because before I did this, and I'm sure you know what this is like. I would flip through our pan, and you see a lot of people that are just kind of whiling away the time. Like, I can remember like a lady folding laundry on our pan. There's a lady knitting, crocheting, on our pan. You see all sorts of crazy stuff, which is why I like it. But before I started the show, there was never this um, idea of to do an actual show right on our pan. At least not that I saw. That's so interactive and like so in your face or whatever.
The only person I can think of that is like anywhere close is the therapy gecko, but that's more based around callers than actual show, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's very strong on the callers, and you and I have talked about that show before. But Yak, I never saw this thing coming of Friends. I mean, you're a friend, Georgie Girl, Robo Kitty, on and on and on and on. Harry from Gamers Watch, and it's like I'm so sold now. It's crazy.
It,
It really works.
I I'm not like shocked like I didn't expect it, but like I think it's super surprising that in just such a short amount of time. Would you say like 11 weeks?
Yeah, I think we're maybe into week 12. I guess maybe something
It
like
just
that. We started
that short.
January 1.
Yeah, yeah. In that just short amount of time, we have like so many people, and you're 5,000 6,000 followers on Twitter by now. You're blowing up all over the world.
Whatever, not even close. But it's climbing every day. It's climbing every day. You told me a while back. It's like you're blowing up. Um, Yak, I want to hear because you're in college and because we love our Yak Horseman and we want to get to know a little bit more about him and all that stuff. You've been this mysterious character. I want to hear. Well, so first of all, what year in college are you? Are you a freshman or what? Or is it loosey goosey? What's going on?
Uh, I'm gonna be intentionally ambiguous, but I will say this is my first year in college. Yeah,
Okay. So I guess you don't have previous experience pre this flu thing that's going around
I do
to
not.
to compare to. So, but tell us what's it been like? Like I think of kids in general anyway as we're kids are so connected now. It's so much more in one way kind of isolated, but then in another way you're connected to all these people. But from your perspective, what's it been like?
Um, well, if I'm gonna be honest, like school life, I guess it's just been so boring because like a transition from high school to this, like it's just nothing. Like this is literally what I do pretty much for 8 hours a day, every day. Is just sit in front of a computer. I had a class I had to go where I click watch a 30 minute or like a 3 4 5 minute video, click answer a question, click. It's just one of my classes. It's so boring. And then on like the personal life sort of thing, it's not exactly this. Like I used to not really go out as much. I would go probably once a week, twice a week. So that's not really different. But other than school, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
In
You know
school,
what
it's
I noticed? You know what I noticed, Yak?
what?
As you know, obviously, I'm like all interested in podcasts and stuff for obvious reasons. I've noticed how many like when I find a podcast that seems interesting, it's like, oh, I'll check it out. So often, it's actually British people, and I have this theory. See, they were locked down way worse than we have been. Like from what I understand, like they can't go more than 5 miles out of their home and all this stuff. And so I really think this podcasting thing is an example of we all embrace this technology because what the hell else are we going to do? Sit around by ourselves and play tiddlywinks? I mean, so I feel for you. And I mean, I think whether you're in college or not, I think there are a whole lot of people. This is what we're doing. We're in front of a screen and here we go.
I feel that's why a lot of podcasts and I guess streamers and stuff showed up over the over this long extended lockdown quarantine, whatever you want to call it, just because people are just left in their houses and with like nothing to do. So they're just like, I might as well try to do something and help someone else with that too.
Totally. People are scrambling. This is why, Yak, that it's so important that we get the Pepperoni road tour going as soon as it seems viable. We got to get the tour bus going. We gotta start to travel. That's what
We got to go to all those RoboCats art convention. Whose play is it? Is it Haley's
it's
play?
Chief Office play.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's a very talented playwright. She's also an introvert, so she hates any time her name comes up. It's hilarious.
but she did call in on what, episode 50?
Yeah, episode 50. That's good. See, good prep for the trivia game, Yak. I really am thinking, you know what I started doing? I did it just this morning. When I end an episode now, I jot down what are some possible trivia questions from this episode because I really do think I used to kind of joke about it, like, hey, there's going to be a big trivia game at the end of the year. But it was so fun putting Georgie Girl through the gauntlet the other day, surprising her with some Chicago Tony V trivia. It was too much fun. So it's like I actually think I'm going to do that. Now, what I'm going to do, Yak, is I think I'm going to give people a ton of warning so they can bone up. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and make it a pretty good prize, so it's like really something people would that want to get nuts would like try and study up for. I don't know. It could be really fun.
I'll never forget now because Georgia Girl said it in chat, but the Family Relic, 1906. I'll never forget.
1906. That's it. That's it. The one, I don't know if you listened to that episode, but the one that I was so shocked that she didn't get was a question about like, what does a pepperoni do anytime they're trying to deflect blame sort of thing, right? And the answer is, what do they say? The answer was they say allegedly for entertainment purposes only. She had no idea. I was shocked by that one.
I'm shocked that I couldn't figure that out just now when you said it.
Oh yeah. Well, and I told her my hint to her. I said, Georgie, you hear it every day. I said, you hear me say this term every day. Then her guess was, don't take any shit from anybody. And I said, Georgie, how does that deflect blame? Anyway, yeah, that was super fun. That was super fun. So, how do you like business classes so far? Something you're going to stick with or what?
At this point, I have no idea. It's such. I will probably stick with it for the next year or whenever we go back to like an actual at least half or whatever in person learning structure. And then if it's still like the slog it is right now, then I'm cutting that out. But I don't know. It's totally screwed up with this whole flu thing that's going around. I don't really know much about it, but I hear it's a big deal.
It's got a name and everything. Yeah, people seem to be freaked out about it. Yak, it strikes me that guys your age, and of course specifically you as well, like you're in this interesting position where obviously you're in school, but then you also have this interface to this whole world where people are making careers out of this stuff or trying to make careers out of it. And so in this interesting way, you're probably picking up all these skills just because of who you are and you're on this technology all the time. And it's like part of my brain says, it's you guys, kids like you gotta take the ball and run with it. Like here's the entrepreneurial opportunity just sitting right here. Like here it is.
There for the taking.
That's it. I was talking to a guy yesterday. It's funny the progression of whatever my life as the public figure now. Yesterday was the first time I had a guy tell me he's like you got to get an agent. I said, whoa, okay, let's hold your horses here.
Inevitable.
You think so? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where this all leads. But I've said it before. I'm just pleased as punch because I have all of you pepperonis. We're all friends. That's the really fun thing.
Yeah, it's really great to be in this, and especially because just how many people I feel like I interact with in your community.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Hmm.
Yak, I swear to God, we are going to become some bizarro version of the Juggalos. We're
The
going to be the
juggalos.
Juggalos, but we're going to be upstanding citizens. We're not going to be misunderstood and shit like the Juggalos. What? So if you don't do business classes, Yak, do you have an idea of maybe something else you want to try?
Something I've always wanted to do is film. I love film, and I think it would be really fantastic if I can do film as a career, even if it's just as like I personally have always wanted to be a director. But even if it's just anything in film, I would really be tickled. That's a good one. Tickled to be a
Yeah,
part of it.
that's really cool. Have you ever monkeyed with it? Like, have you ever dipped your toe in?
I've written a lot of stuff, and I've made when I was like in middle school and high school, like a bunch of just like stupid short films with my friends. But I never ever really put like an I don't know what the I've never had like a budget and like a crew. It's just usually been like, hey, you want to film something stupid for like 35 minutes, and it's just been that pretty much. But it's always
Has
something.
Is there any way that we can see any of your work, Yak? Like, how do we? We're all fascinated by you.
I would, um, but I won't, just because I need to save myself from that embarrassment. Um, Maybe if I find something that I actually can say like, yeah, this is pretty good, and it's not very embarrassing to me. Maybe I'll release that.
Yeah.
But if not, I think that's gonna have to stay under lock and key. Maybe when I die, I'll have the black box sent to Georgie or to someone else. I don't know if I'll die before or after Georgie. I'll have the black box sent, and they'll release that then.
That's funny. Well, but riddle me this, Yak. Riddle me this. So if I just sent you a bunch of footage for just a little mini Chicago Tony V documentary, some sort of little peek behind the hood, and if I just said, Yak, here's just a bunch of stuff. I had some guys film me. Like, you could play around with that.
I I I probably could. Yeah, it depends on the subject of the footage and like what I could really do with it. But I think if it was footage that I could work with, I could make something pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm just crazy enough. You never know. I might tap you on the shoulder someday. Yeah, I can say, here it is, buddy. Go to town, see what you can do.
Who do you
Do
want
you?
to play you in the Chicago Tony movie?
Well, so far for the next few years, I would probably fight hard to play myself, but I'm no spring chicken. So, boy, that's a good question. You know what's sad, Yak, is the first guy that comes to mind is Nathan Lane.
I gotta look up a picture of Nathan Lane. Hold on.
we're shaped the same, but he's a bit of a dandy, if you know what I mean. He was in the Birdcage with yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. That would be funny. I
This is
I
kind of me.
actually sorry, go ahead.
This is kind of me, but it was genuinely the first person I thought of was John Goodman.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get compared. What's weird is I always think of him for some reason as a really tall person. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, he's clearly a huge guy. I mean, he's a thick dude, but I think of him as tall too. And hell, I suppose, what do I care? If there's a Chicago Tony V movie, beggars can't be choosers. I should just keep my mouth shut. But for some reason in my mind, because I'm not a tall dude, I think more in terms of shorter dudes. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I get compared. John Goodman comes up a lot, of course. Truman Capote, that's been coming up lately.
I was
I never mind getting razzed in the comments section. It's like, I know I have no business putting my fat face on camera. I get it. It's fun.
come on.
It's fun. Um, I ask you all the time. about the Yak Horseman show. I want to ask you about gaming, like because I'm old, and I mean, Yak. I was there at Pong. I don't know if you've ever even seen Pong.
Oh, how can you have not seen Pong?
Okay, well, I'm talking. I mean, it was black and white. It was. I mean, the old days. Now I was little, but I still remember it. What's this? Dude, are there people that like make a living just streaming, playing video games and stuff?
Like you wouldn't believe. It's it's crazy. There's a man by the name of Tyler Blevins. He also goes by Ninja on Twitch. Not only loaded, but like loaded. Like the guy could stop. Like the guy could go off the face of the earth tomorrow, never be seen again, and live lavishly for the rest of his life. He makes like $3 million a year, or
Wow.
$3 million a month. Sorry,
What?
it's crazy.
And he just plays video games.
Just plays video games. Of course, you have
So,
to be entertaining and actually be good. But I mean, the guy just plays games.
wow. Now, that's got to be enticing, right? For a kid, especially. I mean, you're sitting around. You already have all the equipment, right? You
Yep,
know how to live stream, and you see guys like that making that kind of money. Yeah, why would you not try to do it?
exactly. I mean, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, but it's not. But I mean, even if you do it with a glimmer, like I have, a glimmer of hope. I mean, still, why not?
Yeah, totally. I think, and really, just the podcasting game in general, I think is very similar. The way I see it is, it's just a riddle. It's a riddle. Like how how do you get from total obscurity to the top of to the mountaintop? And I really love, that's one of the things I love about the whole deal is it's a mystery and a riddle, and I really enjoy that. So there's got to be a riddle to the gaming thing. There's got to be.
I mean, the riddle for the podcasting thing, it's just one rule. It just says be Chicago Tony V. That's the only thing. There. I don't know what the. I think the gaming thing is a mix of luck and entertainmentness. I don't know. That's not even a word, but just being entertaining enough and being lucky enough to just get picked up. Uh, like, because one time I had 30 people watching me for a solid 2 hours, and that was crazy. I only had a couple people actually chatting in the chat, but I mean, 30 people. But then I've never reached that height again. I'll be a one hit wonder with the 30 people. But it's just it's
Is
just
it
really
some
cool.
is the gaming thing, is live streaming gaming, is that something you're gonna keep chipping away at and keep trying to perfect and stuff?
I'm gonna keep doing that and also try to prioritize, or not prioritize, but also work at bringing the Yak Horseman show back, because the thing about the Yak Horseman show is like your show, you do an impromptu and you don't really rely on the callers. But see, I'm not really that interesting like you. I mean, you're a former Chicago mobster figure, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. And like
Thank
me,
you.
I'm just Yak. I mean, I could make stories up, but I mean, that wouldn't be, where it's
I
at.
I hear you. I hear you. What I remember, Yak. So when I heard that you were doing the Yak Horseman show, and I went and checked it out, and I think I said this to you during one of your call-ins. I saw how excited you were. You know, like that was exciting, and so I got excited for you. That's why I've always. It's like when I first saw that, it's like I've always been pulling for you. I think that. Yeah, I'll tell you this, Yak. My podcasting buddies reach out to me all the time. They will uh, show me shows that are just killing it, like huge numbers, and seemingly like just horrible quality, horrible idea. And it's like these guys are like, I can't figure it out. Like, how did this go big? How did it go big? Like
Yeah,
they were telling me about a guy the other day. This guy does like 3 or 4 episodes a day, and it's just right into his phone. It's horrible quality. He'll just like have a thought. He'll turn on his phone. He'll talk into it, and then he posts it to whatever thing. And apparently, the guy's numbers are huge. so I guess I say that because, you know, they, you can't, it's never going to happen if you don't put yourself out there, you know.
Mhm.
On episode 50, I said to Chief Papa, it's like you got to sing your song. That's what it is.
Yeah, and but even like the first episode, which I wiped from the internet accidentally when I was trying to get rid of something else. But like the first two calls on the first episode of the Yak Horseman show, I can't say the word, but I got called a slur for being gay twice,
Ah, yeah.
which was hilarious. It was so funny because some random guy just called twice just to call me that, and it was fantastic. And then that's what really kept me going to the next episode. And then I want to do it more, but the thing is, I don't want to do it on Reddit. I don't know why I don't want to do it on Reddit. I just don't know if Reddit's the place for it. Um,
Yeah,
because,
I don't blame you. And you know, you and I have talked about it before. I don't know if Reddit's going to be my long-term home either by any means, but I'll say this, absolute worst case, Yak, is it would be a place where you could practice,
mhm.
you know,
And that's what I
try out
really
I
do.
try out ideas, you know, try and get something going. And of course, I mean, and I think I'm proof of this. You can definitely build a fan base through Reddit. I mean, it's totally doable.
Yeah,
But I'm with you. It doesn't make long term sense necessarily. You know, it seems like probably Twitch is the place to be and stuff like
and and that's really sad because Reddit is like a great platform because like even like me, like I have 10 followers on Reddit from just doing like 2 hour streams of nothing. But like thousands of people can see your stream because there's only about 30 people live on Reddit at a time.
that.
But Reddit doesn't do anything with their stream. It's just stream. But there's no incentive to like actually be entertaining. So someone like you who's super entertaining that does the show every morning, there's no incentive to like do it every morning. Unlike Twitch that has, you know, a way if you're popular, which I've never wanted to do anything for the money. That's the thing. The reason I want to stream games is because I think games are fun and I think they're entertaining and I like games. I want to share that love with other people. And then your show, I don't think you've ever, or I'm speaking for you, but I don't think you're someone who went, yeah, I should do this for money.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
So
Definitely not.
I think if I could stream on Twitch like I do and make money, I think it would be perfect because I don't need the money. I do it for fun. But if I could make the money, that would be great.
Yeah.
Um, but then like Reddit, just there's no like actual incentive to unless you want the Reddit's own currency, which is worth let me see nothing.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Now, yeah, I've been very lucky. I certainly, yeah, I didn't start this saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make a nickel." You know, no, I that wasn't my thing, and I've been very lucky and a little bit clever, and I don't need the money and all that stuff. But I will tell you, Yak Horseman, believe it or not, I mean, I do I do eventually want to make money doing this, and it's really uh, because it's a game to me. And so there's a competitive side of me. I think that, you know, I think a year or two down the road, you know, I think I'll be probably disappointed if, you know, I don't have sponsors and, you know, stuff going on. Now, you know, I don't need the money, and probably all that's going to do is just, you know, whatever, go to my staff and stuff like that. Um, but it's still something I want to do. I think just it's kind of a little bit out of principle, but it's just a fun game. You know, I'm fascinated by how do you grow this thing, especially since I have so many friends. And I mean, now let's include you in this, Yak. I have so many friends that are kind of trying to figure out that riddle. Like, it would be great to make a living somehow in this kind of world that we're in. How do you do it? So I'd like to figure it out, if only to share it with my friends.
yeah, like I said, Twitch is a great platform to like that gives you incentive to actually stream because it says, all right, you can do this. But if you grow big enough, we can offer you advantages you can take advantage of. So that's why I just want to grow a community like your community that I can interact with every time I stream and I can chat with and just have an entertaining time. And if I make money, then hey, I'll
Yeah,
take it.
right,
What am I going to
right,
say? No.
right, right. I think it's a marvelous goal. And one thing I've learned about and I don't even know what to call it. Do you call it the podcasting community? Do you call it the live streaming community? I don't even know what it is, but I know that it's a ton of really supportive people, really good people. And you've already mentioned a lot of them because they hang around in the chat area. Some of them have called in, like you said, Haley from Podcast 27, the great Tim McCarthy, Harry, of course, takes his lunch hour to sit in on our show all the time. And
Cucumber sandwich.
yeah, right. So that it's a real strength. It's a real strength. You know, hell, Yak, you could probably lean on the pepperoni community to get ideas. Like, hey, I want to fire up this presence. I don't exactly know how it would take shape. Shoot, there's a bunch of people that actually know you that are your friends. A lot of them are podcasters.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, I think Harry live streams too, at least a little bit. He
Oh,
seems to
I had
know.
no idea.
He seems to know about it. But like Chifafa, the playwright, she's the one that gave us. That's why we're called pepperonis. That was her. That was her term. And so the thing kind of grow. And you said the first episode was an evening with Tony V.
Mm-hmm.
That was Georgie Girls. She came up with that name.
Oh.
And even the idea of make it a special evening, that was all her idea. So I don't know, man. I think it's about you put yourself out there, and people already like you. You have this. We've said before, you have this voice. People talk to me about my voice. They talk to you about your voice.
Yep.
And you're a little bit mysterious, and you understand the technology. So what the hell?
Why not? Also, I commented on you a long time ago, but I said a less, or I don't know, is inferior a less than word? I don't know. A lesser nickname for Tony's fans could be Tony's cronies, but I think pepperonis is better.
I remember you saying that actually. Yeah, Tony's cronies, and you're absolutely right. Yeah, but somehow, I mean, pepperonis are that's cemented now,
It's
right?
perfect. It matches so
Totally.
well with the vibe you bring on the show.
It's so much fun. But Yak, you're just you're a tremendous friend. It always I always love seeing when you pop up in the live stream. I know uh you have a time constraint here, so I'm not gonna keep you longer. But thank you for being the very first um, whatever you are. I don't even know what you are. I don't even know what this segment is, but you
Who
did it
knows?
first, Yak.
It's all an enigma.
There we go. All right. You enjoy the rest of your day, buddy. And thank you again for coming on.
Of course, thank you for having me on. This has been really fun.